Hello, everybody. This is Matt with the Field by Geek channel. Today we are talking about Saints Row 2022. Now, right off the bat, I would like to say this game isn't actually that bad. It gets a lot of flack because it's a reboot and a lot of people love that series, but in actuality, it isn't really that bad, and I'd have to rate it probably like a 7, maybe. It's not as good as the older games, but it does a lot of new stuff that is really good, and I'd like to get into that today. So if you enjoy this kind of content, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, possibly if you like, and let's get into it. So first things first, the story, it's not the best, but then, I'm not expecting it to be. It's Saints Row, so Saints Row has always kind of been wacky and out there. They do a lot of different stuff in this. That's it's good. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. What I would say is it it was decent. I enjoyed it. I liked the characters quite a bit. The Eli, Kev, and Nina. I think they were good. The boss, or as they call you in this game, is pretty alright. It's not as comically psycho or over the top as 3 and 4 was, or Get Out of Hell, which is okay. I don't mind it being toned down just a little. It doesn't really take away from it for me, but that's just my opinion. Overall, combat's good. I think the aiming was a bit hard. It's not as smooth, I think, as it was in the older games. I had to aim in a lot to shoot. I couldn't hit fire quite easily like I was in the older games. The takedowns were good, even though they had like a charge up for the takedowns. So you'd have to do a takedown, wait a little bit, cool down. I thought that was a little annoying, but it was so worth it because they put more effort into the takedowns this time. It wasn't like the same 4 every time. It was a little more variety. So I really enjoyed that. My biggest nitpick would be the clothing in this. A lot of it's overpriced. I guess they just added inflation to the game or something. I don't know. There's not a lot of variety. There's a lot of stores, but not a lot of variety. There's maybe like 4 items per shop or something. It's a little ridiculous, and sometimes the store is just way out in the middle of nowhere. So you have to do a lot of traveling to even find out if you want something from that one spot or not. And I can't bash them for wanting to try something like that, but they didn't put enough variety or enough good choices for me to be like, yeah, this was a good idea. And another nitpick is they kind of lock Planet Saints and Let's Pretend behind a mission wall where you have to essentially do everything in the entire game before you even get to it. And even then, you have to have, I think, 1.6 million to buy Planet Saints, and then another 1.6 to buy Let's Pretend. And then even then, like I said, you only get like a handful of options from each one, whereas they were chocked full of items in the other games. So I didn't really like that. So yeah, I don't know. The story, like I said, solid 7. I'd probably tie it with probably Saints Row 4. I think Saints Row 3 is a little better. I was going to say Saints Row 3, but it's more on like the level of Saints Row 4, where it's enjoyable, but it's not like the originals or nothing. And this day and age, I wouldn't expect it to be like it. And I know a lot of people were complaining that it was woke and everything, and it's fine. The jokes are fine. Characters are fine. I had no trouble with anybody in the game. I thought Eli I think it was Eli. Yeah, Eli had the best missions with the LARP missions, the live action roleplay missions. Those were probably my favorite to do. And there's even DLC that adds on to it. That's probably where it's at for me on this. The main campaign, essentially, you're just a contract worker or a mercenary, or you work for a private military. My bad. And you get fired like on day 2, so you gotta find money. Everybody works, like your roommates work for different gangs. It's all right. I don't mind the setup. I think it's a bit interesting. I think Eli is probably my favorite for the missions, but Kev is probably my favorite for like personality. And then Nina's just in there to add some spice, I guess. It's not very drawn out. There's maybe like 2 missions before, maybe 4 missions before you get the actual Saints started up, and then they do throw in the church again, kind of like in Saints Row 1, where Julius had the church and for the Saints headquarters and everything. Do I think it could have been better? Yes. Do I think it was okay with what it did? Sure. The music, that's another nitpick of mine. Music in this was not as good as any of the other ones. I hardly knew anything in this. I know they were probably trying to do a lot of probably what was either lesser known, or they maybe were saving money on copyright money, because there's maybe 2 artists that I recognize and only one of them that I listen to. And I know they had a streaming mode where they had copyright free music, so my guess is they just didn't splurge enough on the copyright music, which is okay, I guess. It makes it stream friendly. But I probably would have preferred to have more widely known music added in there like the other games. Customization on vehicles is good. I'd actually prefer it a little bit more to the older games, except for the paint jobs. The paint jobs are a little worse. I don't know how. You could have just translated the paint job system, but they somehow made the paints worse. The cheats, I do appreciate this. The cheat codes are already in the game, so you don't have to look them up or anything. You just activate them at your own pleasure or leisure. My bad. I want to say the end of the game is interesting. There's a twist at the end. I won't spoil it. But one of the characters does backstab him. I'm not saying who or what or why or whatever. But there's an interesting thing where you have to do a mission to get out of the afterlife, or stop from being sent to the afterlife. So you're in that transition phase, and then you got to climb out of your death phase, go save your friends and everything, and it's this whole situation, and it ends in a high noon draw kind of situation, and I like that. I will say throughout the middle, it kind of got slow for me, where I was just kind of I don't know if I really want to keep going. But the end and the beginning had really strong starts and ends, where there was just a lot going on, where I was yeah, I really like this. I know I'm kind of jumping everywhere. Didn't really have a script for this, so I'm just kind of tackling things as they come to mind. Ventures are a new thing. I think it's kind of in the older games where you would buy the buildings and then get territory or whatever, but instead of just getting the territory when you buy the building, you also have to do the missions for the stores and buildings you buy, which is all right, but it tends to be, hey, do this one activity 4 or 5 times and then come back and talk to me, and then that's it. I would rather it much be like buy the building, get the territory, like the older games. I get that they were trying to add more content. That's fine, no problem with that. They just didn't handle it very well, in my opinion. But it was nice seeing all the interesting characters, which reminds me, one of the businesses got turned more kid-friendly. The guy named Jim Robb, if you know what I'm talking about. I know I'm saying a lot. It's a little hot here. I'm just talking, and it's hot, and I'm just like, ugh. But anyway, and they named one of the franchises in the Saints Row series FBs. Now, if you don't know what that is, just look up FBs and Saints Row, and you'll figure it out. But they kind of toned down a lot of the wackiness and the vulgarness. The curse words are still there, but a lot of the more insensitive things are gone. Which is, I guess, where the wokeness kind of comes in, and they kind of toned down a lot of the vulgarity, the outlandish names and weapons and stuff. Like they had the toy bat from Saints Row 3 and 4, and that's gone. Jim Rob's used to be something else. You just flip around the letters. FB's is like just abbreviated now. It's not its full name. It's just more toned down than it was, which is okay. I don't mind. It didn't hurt the comedy at all for me. And I actually kind of appreciate the psycho nature of the boss kind of being turned down a little bit, because I feel like it got too comical in the third and fourth games, where he was just like, yeah, let's just unalive as many people as we can, because why, just whatever. But in this, it's like, yeah, he admits that, or they admit, whoever you are in the game admits, they're good at unaliving people, and they're good at doing this and that, but it's not like they go out of their way to. It's not as comically evil as it is in the first or the last three games, whatever. So I appreciate that. They got some well-rounded characters. I think Nina kind of got dirty. I feel like they did more with Eli and Kev. And Nina was kind of just like in the background there. I didn't really feel much for her, but I felt more for Eli and Kev. I still like her. I still like what they did do with her. I just don't think they did much with her. But I don't know if I have much more to say. Give this game, like I said, I think a 7. Would I buy it full price? Probably not. I would probably wait for it to be discounted, which I did. I waited till it was on sale. And it gave me, I say on a discount, I think it gave me what it was worth. I wouldn't buy this thing full price, though. Just get it on a discount. It makes a good game to play when you're bored, or like just wanting something to do on the weekend. It's worth it if you get it discounted. I know I said that a few times. Just don't get it full price, because if you get it full price, I think it's like $60 or something for PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5's like 50, 70, something like that. I got it for I think 12 on PS4, and I think it was 13 hours of gameplay, so that's pretty good. So I'm only playing like $1 for an hour, so I feel like I got my money's worth for that. But anyway, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I know I kind of rambled on about random things. This is my first review. I've never done a review, but if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. Give it a like if you liked it. And also, if I helped you form your opinion on this game, on whether you want to get it or not, let me know. Thank you very much. Have a good day.